Now, they decided to vault all the old maps and release new ones, which all the new maps suck. This is why I'm making a guide for the second time. Also, I will not be covering the Dawn Winery map because that one didn't get vaulted and it's still playable. So if you want to see the Dawn Winery one, I suggest you watch this video and then go and watch my next one. I'll be linked in the description below if you want to watch it. And yeah. Alright, so starting off in Kamisado Estate, there's a little spot where you could glitch into underneath the reputation guy. And like, there you go. You can glitch in there. It's a pretty good spot. Anyways, moving on, if you go in the patio area, and you can climb all the way in the top, and there's like this little section you could be able to climb. If you're a small object, it would work a lot better. You could just climb up there and move all the way around. Next one is all the way on the top. So because I'm a small character, I couldn't climb up to the very top. There is like a little corner all the way in the top that the border doesn't reach, so you could hide in there and you won't be able to be spotted. Just make sure you have a bigger character, otherwise you won't be able to reach the ledge. Alright, the next one is on top of the fencing. There's like a little spot right there. You can just like transform into a smaller object and you should be able to hide. Now, this is the most OP trick in the entire game, the bucket trick. So you hide in the bucket, old reliable. Next we have this market map. You could go on this little house. It's like off a spawn on the right. Just go in there. The next one, I couldn't climb that for some reason. they really need to fix their like climbing mechanism. I don't know what they have. Anyways, next one's all the way in the corner of the map in the very back. This is like a good spot if you're like running away and you need a place to hide. From that spot, you go all the way to the corner of the map and there should be like a little cart down there. You could be able to hide. And it's like pretty well hidden because of the leaves, and yeah. Next one, you just go back on top into the middle where the tree is and you go on the roof. There's like this little overhang on there that you could just like transform into a small object and just hide on top. You gotta be careful because it will like move you up. Now the fifth spot is you go to the next vendor on the right side, and I was trying to get into the lamp but then I realized I couldn't go into it. But there should be like the flag, you could go there and you're mostly hidden. Now the last one on this map is just go on the fence. There is like a little spot you could squeeze yourself into if you're like a stool or something, and just like right along the edge, and you're really well hidden. This one is really dumb. Like there's not that many spots to hide. But if you climb up this little watchtower on the edge, there's like a spot in the back you could hide. And most likely you won't get found, but I wouldn't rely on it. If you go all the way along the edge of the border, and if you keep going, there should be like this little, just follow the edge of the map. And there should be this little like drop down thing they could just drop into. And lastly, if all else fails, the tree meta. The all reliable tree meta. Just climb on top of the tree and bam, you're hidden. Next up is this ruins area. If you go out from start, there's like this little cubby hole you could squeeze into. I think it only works if you're like a small person and you could just crawl in there. There's like there's a little hole in the back that you could just like rest into. Right there, and then bam, you're safe. Next one is a good one if you're running away. If you turn invisible, you go onto the vines and you could escape them. Make sure to take away your little pet because I think it shows. Go onto this little like fallen tower and you can just hide on the backside of it. It's not that good, but if you're running away, it's better than nothing. Also, if you drop down like this little hole, you could drop down into the tower and you could disguise yourself as a pillar and just hide in one of the corners. Alright, next up we have the farm area. you could go onto the little vines on the edge of the mountain. You'll be pretty well hidden there. And I think if you drop down a little further into the minty leaves area, you could hide yourself well. Next one is you turn yourself into a scarecrow. And you want to climb up this mountain and just like keep climbing, and the scarecrow would like hug the edge and just completely turn invisible. And again, if all else fails, the tree meta, bam. And if you get caught, you can just always go to the next tree. In this map, there's not really that many good spots. There is one if you go like towards the left side on the mountain. You could climb this little tree and most likely you won't get found. You could also go in the middle, but the middle tree is more known and you could get found easily. But if you don't have anywhere to go, middle tree is good too. Alright, the forest map. Now you could go on the waterfall. And again, make sure you have your pet off because he gives away your position. You could just hide in the steam or the mist. And there's another one like on the edge too. It's a bit more hidden. The mist will cover you. Just make sure you have your friend off. Now if you climb up the very top of the mountain, there's like this little ledge. You could like hide up there and use the tree meta. You just climb up a tree. This is your best bet on this map because there's not really any other hiding spot. You just climb up a tree. And if you get found, you always just go invisible and go to the next one. And yeah, that's going to be it for this Windtrace guide. I would really appreciate a sub because this is my first time voicing over a recorded video. And these things are really tough to do because I have to like find the time to actually record. And yeah, see you in the next one.